Foundational Reclamation Authority, a civic reclamation framework for Ethiopia. My name is Abeba. Ethiopia stands at a historic turn point. The signs of collapse are unmistakable. The crumbling of the ethnic federal system, the moral and institutional decay of the current ruling elite, and the rise of grassroots resistance signal not just the end of political order, but the beginning of national awakening. What we are witnessing is not merely another power struggle. It is a final gasp of an old system built on fragmentation, exploitation, and manipulation. For far too long, Ethiopia's political trajectory has been manipulated by elites who have mastered the art of deception at home and abroad. They wore the garments of reform while practicing repression. They spoke of unity while building walls of division. They preached peace while preparing war, and they governed not by consent of the people, but by fear, by fragmentation, and by transactional alliance rooted in ethnic identity, not civic duty. The ethnic federal system did not arise by accident. It was carefully engineered to dismantle Ethiopia from within, to replace civic belonging with tribal labeling, to distort justice with favoritism, and to replace citizenhood with ethnic clientelism. This system has turned our people against each other, hollowed out our institutions, silenced our youth, and opened the door for foreign manipulation through aid, digital surveillance, proxy militias, and extractive trade deals. It created a politics of perpetual crisis where bloodshed becomes routine and despair becomes policy. But the people have not remained silent. The emergence of civil resistance in many forms, especially the Fano movement, is not just a military response, but a cry for civil dignity. Though Fano began as a regional defense mechanism, it has now evolved into a moral force. It is not a party. It does not seek power for the sake of power. It's a collective heartbeat of those who have had enough. Enough of humiliation, enough of imposed identity, enough of watching their country rot while elites dine on foreign shores. Fano does not come with a manifesto of domination. It carries a yearning for dignity, order, justice, and a return to Ethiopianness beyond tribe and tongue. Despite being demonized, it has shown restraint, treating non-Amharic speaking civilians with respect and emphasizing its goal as the liberation of all Ethiopians, not just Amharas. Its discipline and clarity of purpose stand in contrast to the chaos of ethnic militia politics. It is not perfect. No movement is, but it is potential. Its potential lies in its moral clarity and its civic imagination. Yet we must be cautious. The collapse of the current regime must not be followed by another transitional government dictated by the same recycled elites. The word transitional government has been misused so often. It no longer carries the weight of real change. It has become a veil behind which old actors prepare their return. Ethiopia needs not a transition, but a reclamation, a return to its moral foundations, civic identity, and institutional sanity. That's why we propose a new framework, not a regime change, but a foundational reclamation authority not a caretaker administration, but a civic restoration platform. This is not about ethnic power sharing deals. This is not about elite dialogues held in luxury hotels. This is about the people reclaiming the foundation of their nation. The name is deliberate. It signals a deep rerouting of governance in civic values, not ethnic interests. It proposes a break from the past without a collapse into lawlessness. It proposes reform without chaos and renewal without revenge. This authority is guided by civic reclamation framework, a moral compass, an institutional roadmap, and social contract to rebuild the state from the ground up. We are not proposing to destroy all institutions, but to detoxify them. We are not advocating for lawlessness, but for laws that arise from citizenship, not bloodlines. We are not demanding the erasure of cultures, but the abolition of politicized ethnicity that has devoured our national soul. Justice must return to its place, not a punishment alone, but as moral healing. Ethiopia's journey forward must include truth-seeking, acknowledgement of atrocities, and repetitive justice for all victims, whether they are in Oromia, Amhara, Tigray, Afar, Somali, or all elsewhere. Those who committed mass killings, displacement, and institutional sabotage must face the weight of justice, not to humiliate, but to cleanse. Without justice, peace is an illusion. We must also rebuild our institutions, not as ethnic fiefdoms, but as civic guardians. Schools must teach citizenship, not tribalism. Courts must serve impartial law, not clan loyalty. Police must protect people, not parties. Bureaucracy must be based on merit, not ethnic alliance. Ethiopia's administrative structure must be redrawn, not along tribal lines, but along geographic, economic, and functional logic. Local governance should serve communities, not ethnic quotas. We must retire the dangerous experiment of ethnic federalism once and for all. To do this, we must initiate a national people's convention, not a fake dialogue controlled by the same power holders, but a grassroots assembly that includes elders, youth, women, religious leaders, workers, scholars, and the ordinary citizens whose voices have been silenced for too long. This convention must draft the framework of a new civic constitution, one that emphasizes shared citizenship, dignity, inclusion, and justice for all. In parallel, we must also confront the economic injustices that have deepened our social wounds. Land grabbing, youth unemployment, and monopolized markets have turned entire regions into breeding grounds for despair and insurgency. Our economy must be reclaimed as well. We must prioritize cooperative enterprises, youth-led industries, local value chains, and fair resource distribution. We must break the grip of corrupt contractors and foreign cronies who have turned public wealth into private coffers. Foreign powers must also be warned. Ethiopia is not a playground for proxy warfare, data extraction, and NGO-driven regime engineering. Those who promote digital surveillance, identity policing, and AI-assisted oppression must be confronted. International actors must support civic reconstruction, not ethnic balkanization. If they claim to stand for human rights, let them prove it now. by supporting a civil rebuilding, not another ethnic patchwork. We extend our hands to neighbors. A united Ethiopia is not your enemy. A fractured Ethiopia is a threat to all. Eritrea, Sudan, Kenya, Egypt, Djibouti. We say this with clarity. We seek partnership, not conflict. We seek sovereignty, not isolation. But we will not accept foreign manipulation through ethnic surrogates or armed proxies. To the youth of Ethiopia, this is your moment. Do not let this opportunity slip into the hands of recycled rulers. Rise, think, organize, and lead. Learn from other nations that reclaim their dignity through civic unity, not tribal supremacy. Do not wait for instructions. This future is yours to shape. To the diaspora, return not with dollars alone, but with values, skills, and ideas. Build local institutions. Mentor the next generation. Help craft the new constitution. Be ambassadors of unity, not agents of ethnic nostalgia. To our religious leaders, you are corrupt. Change. Preach justice, not tribal pity. Stand with the people. Be midwives of moral rebirth. To the remaining civic organizations, revive your voice, protect your autonomy, speak for the voiceless. And to Fano, we say this with both hope and caution. Your victory will not be in taking power, but in laying the foundation for civic restoration. Your legacy will not be in conquering land, but in liberating the soul of the nation. You must act with discipline, humility, and vision. You must avoid traps of arrogance, infighting, or militarized governance. You must remain a people's force, not a political cartel. Let this not be another failed transition. Let this be the moment Ethiopia is reborn, not through negotiation among elites, but through reclamation of the people. Let this not be the story of vengeance, but of moral vision, not the story of fragmentation, but of unity, not a mere change of rulers, but a change of foundation. Let us now speak of Ethiopia not as a divided puzzle, but as a restored whole. Let us leave behind the age of tribal identity politics and walk into an era of civic dignity. Let us no longer talk of ethnic territories, but of a shared homeland. Let us not fear each other's languages, but celebrate our common citizenship. This is not a mere vision. It is an imperative. Let the new Ethiopia rise, not as a promise from the powerful, but as a reclamation of the people. Let the people speak. Let the people build. Let the people reclaim. Thank you very much.